Welcome to Bottom Line Sports Talk. I'm George Abraham. You know my partner, Albert Cameron. First of all, wish everybody a safe holiday, Albert. Be very careful. Things are starting to open up a little bit, which is a good thing, but use your judgment. Always better to be safe than sorry. And the meaning of the holiday, Al, this is not Veterans Day. This is Memorial Day. These people are being honored for their sacrifices. Please don't forget them in your thoughts and prayers. Albert, local segment. We're talking Bo Pelini leaving Youngstown, going to basically the national champion, and a team that I imagine has high expectations.
Yeah, and many publications are doing millions of stories on Bo, and we know his temper. We know his outbursts were big at YSU. The fans would really jump on him so much when he would do it. It is still the thing that is haunting him today from getting a big time job, that no one thinks he has control of himself. The other thing that came out big in the article was that I've read is that the YSU was just a
Stepping stone.
Stepping stone for him. And I don't think you can go any place and work when it's only a stepping stone. It's got to be a place you think you're going to finish your career. You're going to go all out. So I thought YSU did not get their best Bo Pelini.
Interesting that you say that, Albert. Mm-hmm. You know, well, now that you say it, we had somebody on the show. It might have been Coach Slocum. It may not have been. I can't remember.
It was. I remember.
But he made the statement, make whatever job you have the best job it could be. And it reminds me of Lou Holtz. Urban Meyer went to him and said, Bowling Green. He said, I don't know. Lou Holtz said, what makes you think Bowling Green wants you? He said, make Bowling Green the best job it can be.
Great line, George. That's a great line. So Bo had, he has tremendous family ties in the Youngstown area. And he thought that was a wise decision to use it for his family, which is fine. I don't mind that part. But in the back of his mind, he was constantly thinking Division One. He was constantly thinking, how can I get back in there?
You think the car was running out?
The car was running. And it's proof that he really had the car running for his media events, because he was not in the media events either. He was not into that. And if you're going to be in Youngstown, the community wants you all in, because the fans around his area are true sports fans. They have grown up with legacies in their families of all their family playing something.
We get calls on our radio show quite often concerning Youngstown. And the truth of the matter is there's an expectation there that hasn't been reached in quite some time. Now, the question I would ask you, being that you played there and you're plugged in, still plugged in, being in this league, the big boys are the big boys. North Dakota State can go to any stadium in the country and not be embarrassed. Is it possible the expectations are too high, or do you think that's a good thing for the new coach?
They're not high enough. That's the problem, and they're going to have to convince me that why they should not be North Dakota State. They were at one time, and then all of a sudden, the expectations went like you thought. Well, if they go 8-4-3, that's a good year.
Does the salary have anything to do with it, commitment wise?
Well, I know if you're going to get the best coach you can, you're going to have to match the salaries of other people.
So you're going to have to double it, basically.
Yeah, you would. And but the facilities have always been top notch. They're still one of the top 3 teams facility-wise.
That indoor place. I got it now. I've never seen like the indoor facility.
Yes. And so they have the facilities to bring kids in.
Okay.
And so facilities they're there. The crowds will be full blast if you win. The coach will be given everything but the salary. But YSU should be in the 1AA realm, one of the top 5 schools in the country, and I'm hoping that's where they end up again. They're going to have to recruit nationally, so the money for recruiting is going to have to be given out and dosed in bigger amounts. But I'm hoping we see what YSU once was the number. They were number one. They were the number 1 team. Georgia Southern and YSU was number 1.
Dirk Russell days.
Yeah, now it's North Dakota State. and South Dakota State is passing
James
up
Madison
YSU.
and all these.
And
other
James Madison is the
teams
other
in
big
country.
Yes.
All right, let's take a few more minutes at Youngstown, then we'll go to our national segment. YSU, I'm coming into work in the morning. I'm listening to Boston College coach. He's Skyping here. This meeting.
What did the Boston College coach say, Coach? He said something about Skype, didn't he?
Yeah, he said he thinks that down the road, some coaches are going to come to the realization that maybe they don't have to be in the office quite as much. That there are things that they can do to not sleep in the office, so to speak. The old Dick Vermeil thing.
Keeping up with the Joneses, and that's been a trademark of coaches forever.
Yeah.
That we see it in high school. That how'd your summer go? Well, you know what? We played 70 games.
Yeah, basketball.
And so you talk to the next guy, and he'll say, we went to 7 passing camps.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, did all your players?
The players weren't there.
The players were all there, and the teams they played against, the players weren't there either. So we'll go over those 70 games or those 70 camps. But you have to keep up with the Joneses.
Exactly.
So if somebody else goes to 7 camps,
I agree.
I'm going to go to 7 camps.
I agree 100%. Now let me ask you. I have my 4 teams in the NFL that are going to suffer because of the corona. I have them marked, and it involves either or both. New coach, new coordinator, new quarterback.
Okay.
Because they just haven't had the time.
Because of the time spent with the practice.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now, Youngstown's going to face this. How will it manifest itself on Saturday afternoon?
There's no question it's going to be tough if they don't get into the camp early enough to really work out the kinks, because the whole new system is in place, but it's not in place on the field. And timing and working together, you can talk about all you want.
No substitute. They put all that on the Skype.
Yes, you can do all you want.
Okay.
But I'm not going to give any excuses.
No, we don't.
No, we don't give excuses.
No.
You're going to have to get ready.
God knows we've not given them excuses. We try to be fair.
No excuses.
Coach Calhoun does well. We say so.
Yeah, he has. He's turned. Once he decided that he couldn't win 101 to 198, and he decided we were going to play a different way, he's done a nice job. Before that, he thought he was going to go in and play that kind of style. Football wise, we'll see what Coach Phillips does. I mean, I know this, that he immediately thought that they weren't tough enough. So he said,
right before they broke up,
we're gonna be tougher.
For the corona, I did read it. He felt mentally not
mental
all
toughness.
in.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to getting him on the show.
Right.
All right, let's shift our attention. National, we look like they're revving up the engines. Literally, they're running NASCAR. They're running. Baseball's coming. It looks like NBA is going to do some type of season, and the NHL is going to put 8 in and let the others play for the other 8 in a shortened playoff version and go from there.
It's a money thing, George.
And what happened right away? TV comes up. The Last Dance was going to show in June. They said, man, there's nothing on. Let's push it up. It has swept the country. 10 shows, 5 solid weeks of nothing but. Let's talk about your thoughts on The Last Dance. Michael Jordan looking like Superman that he was on the floor, and in my mind, less than a good guy off.
Well, when they did The Last Dance, and we both agreed on one thing, it wasn't a documentary.
No.
A documentary shows a variety of
no
things.
warts, not enough warts.
Yes, and I think Jordan had the last say so.
He did.
On all the events.
Okay.
So unless you get on him about family or get on him about you didn't see a lot of things behind the scenes
I think the kids were on a minute out of 10 hours.
Yeah, it proved that. Well, that was number one proof that his basketball was number one, not his family. So that stood out immediately. Anybody who watched the show should have came to that conclusion that his 6 championships were way above Christmas Day. So that stood out. That stood out number one. Number 2, it showed that he was a GOAT. It showed that what he did was unconscionably just unbelievable. How he wielded 6 wins with his talent and his on the court demeanor.
Well, that pizza game, I don't know what it was, food poisoning or what it was, but that man, you could tell he was in some anguish, but he wouldn't let it get in the way of that championship.
Yeah, championship was ingrained in his soul, and he would do anything to win. And some of his antics were things that we liked as coaches: punching your player on the floor, your own teammate, going to Vegas, going to Atlantic City
Yeah, in between games.
between games.
How about Robin? You mentioned Vegas. We got to talk about it. Phil Jackson is known as what they call
Players
communicator, a player's coach,
Yeah.
Zen man, or whatever the title is. I looked at it and thought, how could he bring him back after that day he missed practice and he's on national TV acting a fool with Hulk Hogan?
Wow, of all the things that George could lead me into, it was the number one thing that came out to me. I've said it out loud to George and many of my friends that I wouldn't walk from here to the kitchen to meet with Phil Jackson. He went down in my eyes
Nothing to ask him.
so terribly that he could let the players do anything they wanted,
Anything.
as long as he was able to hold the trophy up at the end. I don't consider that coaching. I consider that I don't consider that I don't consider that controlling egos. I consider let them do whatever they wanted as long as we got a victory.
And winning does. It happened in New England for 20 years. It soothed the wounds.
Oh yeah, no.
Eventually, the wounds opened back up. But 9 Super Bowls later, the bottom line is winning pretty much cures everything. When the people say it was fun, they like this. It generally rides along the idea of, can we win doing it this way? If we can, it appears Phil's okay with it.
Yeah, winning is it takes care of all evils, from Little League baseball up to pro basketball. It doesn't matter if you're winning. The players are okay with certain things, and from a standpoint of winning, I see success in different ways. Many times, I live a different beat with that, and sometimes there are winners out there that never won a championship.
Good coaches. We both coached against a ton of really good coaches that did what they had with, not recruiting, not bringing people. This is their team. We're going to do it the best we can and live with it.
Yeah, and the guy who fixed that bill was Herb Brooks when he did the miracle on ice, the 1980 Olympic team. When he said we're gonna win, tie, or lose as a champion. Champions are made in different ways. The Chicago Bulls under Phil Jackson are bragged about with their 6 trophies, and I can understand.
Rightfully,
I can understand that, but don't put Phil Jackson in my kitchen, because he does not live my standard of how you hold people up to a standard of how you're going to.
And let's talk about how they treated Jerry Krause. Okay, Crumbs.
It's the worst. It's the worst.
This man built 2 three-peats. Now, I know Michael Jordan, God bless, I'd like to start with him too. But nevertheless, getting Horace Grant, getting Kerr in there, getting the centers, Cartwright, whomever. The man won 6 championships. And to treat him like that at the Hall of Fame, first of all, he never saw his own. That was a disgrace in itself.
Right. He
He passed away before he could get in posthumously. But Jordan, to treat him like that at his induction, terrible.
And one of the things that Jordan said on the show that really, I think it was the last line maybe, or close to it, 1 for all and all for one. I thought to myself, what hypocrisy. They never lived that at all.
Never.
They treated Jerry Krause like he was not part.
No, they're not human
at all.
No,
Yes.
you don't treat a human
So
being
you're
like
either
that.
1 for all for one, or you're not.
No.
And so, yeah,
You're
Krause
right.
got destroyed in that. If anything came out of that documentary, that was wrong.
I felt bad.
That he really understood the signings.
Mm-hmm.
To go with Pippen had a contract. Now I understand he was underpaid.
Woefully underpaid.
I understand,
But he's come off back surgery too. If you know anything about back surgery, and it appeared Reinsdorf, he was holding the purse strings, putting Krause out as the bad guy.
He did.
But I didn't see him saying, "Hey, rip that up and give him a new one."
That had to be the guy to step up to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, Pippen was the 122nd high paid in the pros,
Mm-hmm.
and he was considered one of the top 10 players.
Right.
So I know where he was coming from, but he signed the contract.
Mm-hmm.
George, if we signed a contract, teaching or coaching,
What's that?
we signed it. We had to do it. That's what
I
we're
learned
the one to
Now
decide.
let's talk about Phil Jackson before we move on. We'll talk a little baseball, etc. Phil Jackson obviously comes out looking pretty good. I mean, my goodness, Al, 11 championships.
Oh, no.
I mean, anyone
You got
that says
champion-
anything.
You got my championships that way. You would put them high up there.
Let's not forget the Lakers, Shaq and Kobe.
Oh, yeah, I know he had.
He had the top two guys. He had the top two, Pippen and,
Yes.
Jordan. He had Robin. He had Horace Grant, whomever. Well, let's say this. He goes to the Knicks as some kind of president /
Big time. They brought him in. They said, this guy will turn. He'll change the Knicks.
And he is a Holtzman guy, so there was history.
Mm-hmm.
80 and 166.
Yeah, and not buying in.
Not all in.
Not trying to run a squad from the Dakotas.
Yeah, how's that work?
That doesn't work. And George has said this many times in the last 10 years to me. He said, I couldn't figure out why Pat Riley.
No, Pat. I knew there was a Nick thing there, but it was deeper.
It was much deeper because Pat Riley has taught us. This is 20 years ago.
Yeah,
George and I, we asked. We were trying to figure out a good definition for commitment, and we saw Pat Riley's, and it was the best one we ever saw.
You're in, you're out.
You're either in or you're out.
What did LeBron, he and Wade come in? They wanted Spoelstra replaced. What did Riley tell him? Get out.
Get out.
I'm not.
He's our coach. He's our coach.
I'm not coaching.
Yes. Spoelstra's our coach. That's who's going to be the coach.
3-hour practice.
And so when you look at it, Riley, who says you're all in or you're out,
lives it.
Well, Phil Jackson did not believe in that at all. He had when you let a guy go to Vegas for a week,
they had to go get him. It's different. Bad enough he went. He didn't come back.
And we talked to the YSU great coach Jerry Slocum, and we made it clear to him that all three of us have made many mistakes when you're young coaches. But you learn from them and don't let it happen again. So not only does Jackson let him go to Vegas, then he tells him, then he goes to wrestling. He plays the next day.
Mrs. Practice
plays the next. That should never happen twice. Phil Jackson went down in my eyes so big.
I agree.
I don't know. I don't think they were planning on that to happen. For me as a coach,
yeah,
that's what happened.
No, my buddies, they just think I'm goofy.
And I know I'm goofy.
Yeah.
I don't mind being goofy. I'll be goofy going to my dying day.
Unsung hero, maybe the hero of the entire thing as far as making the brand work is his mom. He wants to wear Adidas.
That was big decision.
And his mom says, Michael, you go out there and meet with these people. If they're interested, you be courteous enough, and the rest is history. What they sell last year, $2.6 billion.
Yes.
He's been retired for 25 years.
Adidas. Poor Adidas.
Oh, you were this
Whoever
close.
was the marketing director there.
You were this close, Sonny Vaccaro.
That marketing director.
You were this close, Sonny.
Should have been ran on a railroad out of town so fast that they said, I don't think we could sell this shoe. I don't think we could.
David Falk.
Oh, my
He was in charge of it.
Yeah, Falk knew. Falk knew what was going on.
Do you think, Jordan's father, obviously being so very close, then he gets murdered, and a retired Chicago policeman and another guy kind of step up and take that role of being Michael's confidant. Not a big entourage like the Braun today, but had a couple people that travel with him.
I did like that about Jordan. Of the things that stood out.
Loyalty?
Yes.
Okay.
That he found a couple guys.
Was that Gus? I think.
Yeah, that was Gus.
Gus was the old retired Chicago police.
And he treated him well, did his job for him, was there on his deathbed. That he was loyal in that small circle. Yeah, that small circle. And I also liked how he bought in with Longley and Kerr, and who he realized did not have his talent, but went all in.
Workers.
And Jordan was looking for that. Jordan was always looking for those.
One of those
John
guys.
Bushler, that's the other guy. The guys that did not have his talent, but he said all he wanted to do was be the best you could be at practice every day.
Kerr joked about it. He said, I didn't have any women in high school, and I didn't have any college offers. You see, he come from an educated family. His father
was that
president of the American University in Beirut, and his mom a college professor.
Yes.
So he comes from an educated family. He was more interested in the education. He went to Arizona without a visit.
Yeah,
he jokes about his playing. He's a pro.
He's a pro.
Yeah, he got 8 titles by the way. 8.
Yeah, he's a pro. Anybody that plays in the pros.
Yeah. The worst guy
is way past
the worst guy.
Imagine.
Yeah, Matt Scalabrini used to go around to YMCA's and stuff and just whoop on these guys that thought he was lousy. He's 6'8", 225, you know.
Yes.
But
Oh,
he
no.
would go in and they would say, they'd see him get in the game for the Celtics late, and they didn't realize.
That 12th man. I tell a story about Craig Hodges.
That's the good
At
story.
Cleveland Cavalier game, we go early with my high school team, and Craig Hodges, they don't know who Craig Hodges is, and he hits 27 straight threes. And he doesn't get off the bench for the game. And the kids are saying to me, why isn't Hodges getting in?
No, I played in college with a guy played for University of Baltimore. And we played him, and I've not seen anything like this. I mean, I played against some good guys in high school, played in the summer, Norm Van Leer,
right?
Played against Dean Meminger in high school, a few players. But this guy was different. This guy was about 6'5" and better than everybody. And I left that game. I said, I know one thing. This dude's a pro. I said, I don't have to see.
You saw a pro.
He got cut at the end, but he got cut.
But still,
he was absolutely the best player I ever played against by a mile.
Yeah, so you people out there that we on this show as educators will give you a plan A and a plan B. Don't set your goals short. Try to make the major leagues. Try to get a Division I scholarship, but make sure you have a plan B.
Yeah,
there's a good chance that you're not going to be part of that. There's a good chance.
See, that's what I said to my buddy the other day. He said his grandson or somebody, and I didn't want to rain in his parade. I said, I understand. I said, the only problem with baseball is Venezuela, Dominican.
Well, they're all coming.
So these guys are all coming. Like, you're not seeing them at the Altoona Little League. You know, when Poland plays Canfield, none of these guys are on the field.
Just look at the history of the schools.
Yeah.
History of the schools in this area.
Yeah.
You'll have one or two.
Absolutely.
Make it into the minor leagues. If you're lucky, you have one to make the major leagues. And
same with D1 players.
And we're not overrun with D1 players. That's what I was going to say, Jordan.
Yeah.
You know, don't.
We both did okay, and we didn't have a handful.
I had 1.5 Division I players. What I had.
Yeah, it's just the way it is.
Yes,
real quick on baseball. A few minutes left before we're done. Manfred getting them together. He wants the players to take. Snell comes out with just the dumbest thing.
That's terrible.
I really think the spirit of it, but he worded it supportive. I'm not playing for a mere $3.5 million.
Don't say mere.
This guy's driving a truck.
Don't say mere.
The guy's driving a truck. Another guy's, on the front line wearing a mask, delivering produce.
Yeah. No one wants to get sick, and no one wants. You don't want anybody in the family to die.
No.
But don't say mere $3 million.
No. So let's talk about now. Some of these baseball teams are worth a fortune. Literally, figuratively too. A lot of them.
Billions.
Even a team like the Pirates, the rotten 50 million payroll Pirates, are worth well over $1 billion.
Yes, they are.
Now, all of a sudden, season's going to be cut in half. They want the players to take half. And Boris, the agent, is saying, I don't get this. He said, you guys, when you're quadrupling and quintupling your earnings, that's fine.
The owners are happy then.
1 year we're going to lose money and you want socialism. He said, isn't that funny? But the bottom line is, millionaires and billionaires, we don't feel sorry for either side.
No. We are not feeling sorry for anybody that is making that much money.
No.
We realize that the bottom line in all these endeavors is greed. They have enough, but they want more. The owner's making billions. No, that's not enough. We got to make more. The $4.4 million is the average salary in baseball. I have a feeling, George, that we can make $4.4 million. George, you're good at math.
Yeah.
Can we last a lifetime on $4.4 million?
Yeah.
I thought we could. I think we could. There's a chance we might last a lifetime.
It's $50,000 a year for 80 years.
That's what I'm saying. I knew you'd be the man.
Yeah, but we're not well.
I know you.
We're not well. I mean, we could live on that.
I gave him 5 because I knew George would be able to do math for him.
Yeah, we could.
He makes it easy for you. You hear that? That's what they make. Yeah. And we're supposed to feel sorry for them.
We're not. No. Couple minutes left here. The Power 5. No sports canceled yet.
No, and
they're last, right?
No. And they're going to hang out as long as they can. Because the almighty dollar speaks there.
Can you imagine?
Well, it's how the Congress going to play.
Yeah.
I don't know how
the Southeast
Conference they're going to play.
The only one playing.
They're going to play.
The ratings and the advertising fees will be.
We'll be watching it.
Absolutely. I watch BYU.
We'll be shaking Roll
Utah
Tide. Roll
State.
Tide.
I watch
We'll be
BYU.
watching. Go
Utah
Vandy.
State, 1
Go
in the morning.
Vandy. Oh no, we'll be watching. But
And by the way, kudos to Vanderbilt finally. First female black athletic director, and way long overdue
No
in the
question about
Southeast. But
and she'll do a great job. There's no
we
question.
know
about
what's
that.
coming.
Yes.
All right, let me ask you about this. Some of these athletic directors, like the dude at Arizona State, he got a
everybody said they're losing money.
$575,000.
No. Everybody didn't lose money
No.
during this pandemic. There are people involved with the sports all around that had their kids have some academic success. They had written into their contracts, I'm going to make $575,000 more dollars as an AD at Arizona State if they do well. Isn't that what they're supposed to do, George?
Supposed to do.
Was that supposed to be part?
Supposed to go.
What do they say when they introduce them? Student athletes.
No, that's
Student
one guy.
athletes.
I'd like to get that Emmert and just say, look, let's leave that.
So you're giving contract out money
Yeah.
if your kids get good grades. George, I never once taught school and went to the superintendent and said, listen,
My
should
kids did it. Oh, my kids
Yes.
went to school. I should give more.
I get
money.
$15,000 more dollars. Why? Because my kids got good grades this year. My kids came to school this year. It's a joke. There's no question about it.
And how about some of these guys like Harbaugh? He's already making $8-9 million. How about producing? Beat Ohio State
Yeah.
once.
Yeah.
Really?
I tell
I
you,
know he's not.
you're losing money.
No.
That's what I said. We're taking money off you.
Yeah.
Until you beat
know, he's
Ohio
not
State.
and I'm going to say it right now. He's not beating them this year. And I don't know who was on either team. I know they got.
George has been right on that for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
People,
I go to my buddies.
every
down-
great writer says,
Yeah, this is the
"Oh,
year.
this is the year."
Yeah, I got 87 McDonald's on there. I go to my buddies after the show and sitting there eating lunch. And these guys are coming in for Ohio State. That's Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
This year,
Michigan this year.
Michigan. I said, I'm gonna have to see it. I said, I'm sitting in my little corner over there
Have
drinking
to
my
see it.
soda. I said, I'm gonna have to see one first to see. Like I'm trying to think of how it's gonna happen. 'Cause that happened so long. And I said, I'm gonna have to see like Michigan win. Then maybe the next time I'll jump
Yeah,
on.
you Buckeye fans in Ohio,
Yeah, you gotta be.
you got another great team coming this
Leave
year.
him there.
Get ready.
Leave him
Another
there.
great team.
Last thought, Al, on it. We're going to see sports, maybe not as we know it, but are we going to see something in the college football season to occupy our time?
That's a no-brainer.
You think so?
Yeah.
You heard it here on Bottom Line Sports Talk. We'll see you next week.